Good morning. Today is the 10th of December and this is part 17 of the slightly shambolic shuffle around the 2024 NEC Classic Motor Show. I do apologise in advance for any incorrect information. If I get things wrong, well, it's the same thing, isn't it? If I fall over, if I get interrupted by announcements, it's the way it goes in this channel. So we're just going in for the final time, last day, probably 6 or 7 more parts to film, and we'll have a look at this 1956 Osnay 35. But won the pride of ownership in spring last year. It's very, very nice. Tell straight away that it's the A35 by the larger rear window. Right, let's get inside here. Thank you. We need to make a special delivery this morning, viewers. So we're heading straight for somewhere where we were yesterday. And when we get there, we will doubtless explain a little bit more. Right. Roger. It's your big moment. Right. He's going to have to sit there. Right, now you behave yourself. And when Alex comes back to see you, make sure you greet her in a polite fashion. See you later, Roger. So I've walked literally right to the other end of the show. This is the end of Hall 5, and my reward is this Bedford CF ice cream van. I'm not sure we deserve that quite yet. We haven't finished yet, but I'll bear that in mind. Very nice, 7073 plate. I'm afraid we've got a live show going to meet the experts. That won't be me. I'm just an absolute idiot who mumbles and tries not to fall over while shuffling around. So keep off that stage, viewers. So found the Mark 1 Golf Owners Club. Interesting stuff here. 1980 Golf GTI Mark 1. So October 79. I think this was about the time of the facelift of these. Look at the back and be sure. Hang on, that's not a facelift one. So not a facelift one. Why would you put out like a press car so close to the face? I don't know. Anyway, excellent, 1978 Golf GTI Mark 1. Very early one by the looks of it. Yeah, there we go. It's one of the first ever imported to this country to be officially sold by Volkswagen. Then rarer thing here, most of the surviving Mark 1s are GTIs, I think. This is a, wow, that's an old one. Is that a swallowtail? My gosh, it's a swallowtail. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. Yeah, it's 1975, it's left-hand drive. Did they not sell these in right-hand drive originally or something? I have to get a photograph of Mr. Quirk from the Planet Auto channel. He very much likes Mark 1 Golfs. Quite a late one here, sort of contrast to the swallowtail. This might be like an 84 or something. That's an 83. This is a campaign. I think this is the run-out model for the Mark 1 GTI. Looks very, very nice. Perfect condition. Those Pirelli alloys on it. Then it was a 1.3 driver. It's not now, is it? Yes, a 1.8 turbo engine, 285 horsepower. I think the 1.3 Mark 1 Golfs had about 50 horsepower. Anyway, another campaign here in pristine concourse condition. Yeah, nice Pirelli wheels and lovely interior. We'll just be very careful walking around the back here, viewers, because we have trophies aplenty in here. Crowdy's Garage, Swindon. There we go, this is the modified one. You can see the facelifted rear end of these is very different from the early car. There we go. Excellent. Next stand. So we've got the All Quattro here, the Quattro Owners Club stand. Do we have information sheet about this particular car? Or is it just the sort of general information? I think it's just general information. So we'll go around here. Gosh, it's busy again today in here, viewers. Ah, there we go. Seen on Bangers and Cash apparently. That's obviously been restored since it arrived there. Now, is this about this particular car? No, it's a shame. It's a right-hand drive one. I imagine it would be, gosh, sort of an early 80s one. Not a very early one, because those were left-hand drive only until 1983, so it's a bit after that. Is this one of the sort of shorter wheelbase ones? I mean, this is verging on kind of, you know, probably like a 7-figure sum, something like this, isn't it? Oh, there we go. A recreation of the 92 rally car. Amazing. 5-year conversion. No, I don't think it is the short one, actually. I think it's a standard length one. But that is one expensive job. More expensive cars here, but it's a interesting short one. Why is it on a P plate? Oh right, it's a South African one. Very confusing. Okay, so it's one of the very last of these splitties. It is a 75. I think they stopped making them for our market about the same time this one was made, 1967. So there we go, Fleet Line specification splitty. I'd never heard of those before. Not really much of an expert on these air-cooled Volkswagen series at all. Obviously I appreciate them, I just don't know all about them. 64? It's just like splitty, yeah, it's a split screen stand. All the sort of things you can do with such things. Yes, if this were my van, I would not want people just fiddling around inside either. It's a sensible idea, really. That is a 64. They have two different beiges. You've got beige and beige, different beiges. It's a bit tight in here to actually look at the things properly. Like you have to sort of push yourself backwards against this sort of fence here. There we go. A lot of the splitties are left-hand drive these days. They seem to tend to come from sort of kinder climates rather than ours. But most of them just rotted away. They weren't worth anything. That's a 1965, that one. Excellent. Someone's put a little kitchen in there. Right, let's move on to the next section. More air-cooled Volkswagen action with some beach buggies. That is just crazy. That's always it is a Myers Manx. Fabulous, 64. And very, very 70s looking one here. That is just extraordinary, that colour. Based on an early 70s Beetle, J-plate. This looks serious bit of kit. We've got maybe an intentionally rusty exhaust at the back of there. What if people actually do drive these on the beach? Dune buggy. Say 2001, it's based on a 58 Beetle, wow. Another extraordinarily sort of 70s looking one. A bit more recent one if you've got the LED rear lamps. And then an actual Beetle with, I presume that's things for representing the smoke that comes out your tyre, the Santa Pod, which I have been to. We actually did a challenge there, a £500 challenge of the very early days of the channel in October 2019. This is 1970 and it's modified, 277 brake horsepower wheels. Fabulous. And then a Type 3 fastback, again hugely modified. 350 horsepower. Another fast Beetle. Much sort of larger wheels and tyres for standard, I think. That orange one, it's about 1970 or so. Excellent. The DKW and Auto Union Owners Club. You have a DKW 3 equals 6, which was a bit of marketing genius really. Like this, the 3-cylinder engine of the DKWs was as smooth as a 6. I think that's what it was. I don't believe that particularly. I forget the name of these vans. Gosh, no, I can't remember now. We'll go on to another part of the stand. We'll have a look at this. I think they call these the. So like, there's a load of different names for these. And no, these aren't actually Audis. We've got some Audis there. This is the sort of predecessor. It's the 1000S Coupe 1960. Now you could buy one in this country. This is actually from South Africa. Quite nice looking cars. There's the back of that van. Oh dear, I just cannot remember what they were called now. It's 1000S. The Audi brand was sort of brought back about 1965, but these are badged as either DKW or Auto Union. I never remember why one was the other. I don't remember, but there we go. Look at that. Similar dashboard, not exactly the same. This is a 64, this one. You see the styling is quite different from the 1000S there. I forget what these are called now. And then we have, these were the sort of immediate predecessor to the revival of Audi, which is about 1965. But this would have been badged as a DKW. This is actually a 65. The Audi's actually got the 4-stroke engines. These are 2-stroke. Yeah, there you go. So the F102, this is called. And then later the Audi 75 and Audi Super 90 and things like that, and the Audi 80, which were marketed over here. It was very, very rare. I think there's one of this sort of type on the Audi UK press fleet. Now we get on to the actual Audis. This is a Audi 100 Coupe, the S model. It's automatic. Very, very, very pretty car. Very expensive and rare back in the day. This will be from the early 70s. Yeah, that was in 1973. £3,338 new. That was a lot of money in 1973. And then this is a very, very early Audi 80. I think these came out, if I remember, about 1974. Could have been a little bit earlier than that. They're very similar to the first generation of Passat. Oh, sorry, no, 72 it was, I do apologise. Yeah, very similar to the B1 Passat. In fact, this is called the B1 as well. In 1977, one of these appeared in an episode of The Professionals called Close Quarters. It was a rare car back in the day. This is the GT model. It's absolutely immaculate. It's very nice. The sort of thing I really quite like stuff like this, viewers. Then we've got this RS6, just from 2003. This is the C5 shape. And then an RS5, which is on top gear. I imagine originally an Audi press car. This is a 2010. Does look quite nice, doesn't it? Those two are better, exceptionally fast. More Audis. Audi 80 Cabriolet and Coupe, based on the, let's get this right, initially I think the Coupes were based on the B3 and then the B4. Cabrio I think was B4 only, but I could be wrong. This one is from 1996, it is a 2-litre E model. Cabrios continued until the year 2000, just called the Audi Cabrio. They dropped the name 80 when the A4 came out, I think. Actually, this is one of the very last ones. It's the 1.8 20 valve engine in 2000, so personal plate on this. Nice shape actually, but people didn't particularly mind, but it dated back to the sort of mid-1980s really, because the B3 and B4 are very similar. This is a 2.6, that's nice views. Quite expensive really. There's lots of other cars you could have bought for a lot less money than one of these, but they were very, very, very individually engineered. You can see we've got all sorts of different engines these are available with, including a V6. 2.6 from 1995, and then another very, very late convertible, just Audi Cabrio. That is from 1999, the final edition. Oh yes, and some B2s as well. There's a B4 Coupe in the middle. I have driven one of these. It's a sport model from 1986, one of the last of the B2s. They look very nice actually in this sort of later guise, this facelifted version here. They're both Audi 80 Sports actually. Have a look at the Coupe in a moment, but this is almost exactly the same as the one that I drove. I think it was in October 2022. This one's actually in almost concours condition, if not fully concours. The one I drove was a little bit more worn than this, but it was still good. The only thing is I didn't feel like it was particularly fast. I don't know why. It just didn't seem that responsive to me, but it could just be that particular car, I don't know. But yeah, one of the last ones there, 86 on the D. And then this one I think is Kingfisher Blue. It still looks sort of quite modern, this design now. A lot of Audis are like that. But again, it's another 1995 car. Fabulous. Time for some Scirocco's. This is a very late Mark 1. It'd be sort of 1980 to 81 on a W. Scirocco Storm. There we go, this is a 1981. See if we can sort of stand in a slightly different position for this. There we go, it's better. But next to it, the very late Mark II with the rear window louvres and those individual looking tail lamps. Very 1980s, although this is like a 91, 92 car. The Scirocco overlapped with the Corrado for some reason for a number of years. I think it was about 3 years. Quite sure why. There we go. That one's I think an H, so it's 1990, 1991. Speaking of Corrados, here is a VR6 Corrado. I've driven one of these actually. I drove it earlier this year. It was an automatic, a manual one. It had been swapped from an automatic. Very fascinating V-angle engine, but one cylinder head in these. This one is a 1994. They actually drive really, really well, these cars. It's surprisingly well. Very modern feeling. This one is a another VR6. This is a 1995. We'll have a look at the interior. The windows open. Why not? Nice alloy wheels, very, very good condition. Leather was optional on these VR6s. Some of them have cloth interiors, like the one that I drove. Kind of fancy a Corrado, actually. Quite like one. Another VR6. Is it just like sort of VR6 year or something for these? I mean, I'm not complaining or anything, but there were a number of other Corrados available as well. Those alloy wheels are very interesting, aren't they? Right, next section. So more Volkswagen action, Beetle convertible. This one I think has been modified quite extensively. Yeah, you can see that in there. Someone spent a lot of money doing that up with the Porsche alloy wheels, of course, which are a good fit. Customised Mark 1 GTI. And then a very rare thing, a Mark 2 G60 with big bumpers, so the sort of 89 to 90 or later, that one. The Edition 1 apparently. Nice colour. Then interesting Beetle here. Oh, and a Jetta Mark 2. I absolutely love Jetta Mark 2s. I think they're fantastic. This is a late one with the big bumpers. 1990 to 1991. Much rarer, of course, than the Golf, and I don't think they're as expensive as the Golf either. I mean, I would definitely prefer one of these. It might be because my parents owned a Jetta for many years, in the 1980s. Then a 1964/1959 Carmen Cabrio. How does that work then? Yeah, okay. Right, so it's bits of two cars together, that's it. So it's 64 registration. This one, a VW1302S. I've not heard of this variant. Does the S mean you get more power, or what does it mean? Don't know. So it's set 1970, that one. And then another 1970 Beetle, but one-off in Kirschrot. That's how you say that. Cherry red. Does that actually work, that car cooler thing? Or is it just for show? Parts in the comment section below. Yep, here's another Scirocco. We didn't actually get this first time round. Another late one, about 1990 or so. As a member of the Volvo Owners Club, I could not possibly pass up the opportunity to have a look at some classic Volvos. There's lots of them here actually. We'll make a start with the 262C here. Very appropriate number plate on that. These were actually styled by Bertone. I think they were made at their factory in Italy. And they are, yeah, genuinely are a lot lower than the standard 264 or 265 cars. Most of them I've seen were in this colour, this sort of silver with the black vinyl roof. I don't quite know why, but there we go. Amazon here, late Amazon. Lots and lots of Amazons in the owners clubs. This one's been modified quite extensively. It's a 68. It's a 131 model. Then we got the it's probably PV544, isn't it, this? Now these were never sold officially in this country. There are quite a few of them over here, but they're all left-hand drive. This one is a 1960. Volvo for many years have this policy of overlapping models. So the Amazons came out in 1956, but these were made I think until 1965. So yeah, that continued until the 1990s, that particular policy. And a nice 1800. Red interior like the one in the Saint, although this is a completely different colour. Let's have a look at the year of this. Yeah, it's 800S from 1968. Lovely. Right, don't know anything about this truck, so we will go on to this 240 Torslander. Torslander was the run-up model for the 240, which finally finished production in 1993. Torslanders were interesting spec. A lot of them had aircon, but they had windy windows in them, which I never quite understood actually. The 240 that my mother had from 1990 to 2001 was a 1989 240 GL Estate manual. Quite a similar interior to this. So this is a 92. Yeah, the interior was similar to my other one. Not quite the same colour, but very similar dash and things. The design of the 240 actually dates back to the 144, 145. This is a 145. And these came out in 1966, so it's a very, very long production run for shape. This is a facelifted 145, because of the same door handles as that 240. Let's go round that side for the information sheet. There we go, it is a 74. That must have been a festival exception. Ah, yes. Superb. Love it, viewers. We've seen this many, many times before. The 1962 P1800, originally 71 DXC. There we are, late Sir Roger Moore. Fantastic, fantastic series, and a wonderful series of cars. There were many, many used. This is one of the original ones, used in the first episode and some other ones as well. There we go, lots and lots and lots of signatures on there. Brilliant. 850, 1994, it's actually a real BTCC 850. Brilliant. And then a 164. This is a 1971. Volvo's own 6-cylinder engine in this, and then a different front end than the 144. Pre-facelift one, you can see the door handles are different than the 145 there. Just in colour. Very sort of different interior, right-hand handbrake. Right, next section, viewers.
Okay, done.
Had some tasty Saabs as well. Saab 900 Turbo with I think finished plates on it. The only 900 of the sort of OG variety I've ever driven is an 83, but it was a 900 GL saloon with a 4-speed gearbox. It wasn't very fast. This one, Turbo 16S, a bit faster. This is a 1984. Colorado leather, excellent. Now this is a classic looking Saab, isn't it? 85 Turbo 16S in black. This one's got the Sierra interior. They're more common, I think, with the grey interior, really, like this one. But just such iconic shape, made until 1993. Traces lineage all the way back, of course, to the Saab 99, which came out around, I think, in 1967, from memory. It's fantastic cars. The only problem with these, and this is only for the manual models, the right-hand drive, manual 900s have quite an awkward driving position. The pedals really aren't in the best place, which obviously would, you know, be solved if you bought the automatic, which I would personally do. Talladega red, dove grey interior. That's a 1990. Then a very, very late classic 900. This is a 93. Must be one of the absolute last, actually. Ruby edition, colour-coded bumpers, unique interior. Carlson red box boost controller, which would mean, wow, that would be a bit nippy, that one. Lovely 3-spoke alloys, of course, on this. Looks absolutely fantastic. Right, we're going to go on to some Dutch cars now. Yes, a couple of Volvos built in the Netherlands. 340 DL was a particular one. So look at the plate 88, 89. This is the 1.4 with the Play on Font engine, supplied by Renault. Transaxle in these, rear-wheel drive, so longitudinally mounted. Not the most powerful car, but you know, very good for drifting and things. Yes, I'm serious. And then 2 generations down, really. This is a an S40. I have driven one of these actually. It was a very late V40, which is the estate version. Facelift, 2-litre automatic. This is not one of those. This is the T4 model. It's a pre-facelift from 1998. the CD model, which is the top of the range, so fastest and most luxurious one, with a 5-speed manual. Based on the same platform as the Mitsubishi Charisma, they're actually quite dependable cars. You see quite a few of them still around, which is surprising given how old they are. Excellent. Right, working your way up here, back with some more Volkswagen action. Is this by any chance, viewers, a Rally Golf? I believe so. Yes, it is. 1990. Ex-Volkswagen UK. Obviously been modified for racing and things. So let's look at the plate and see if that's a classic Volkswagen kind of sequence. I don't know. WB, I think, is like Sheffield or something. So who knows? I don't know. And more Rally Golf action. You can tell them straight away by the front end. They're completely different from standard ones. Never sold in right-hand drive. 70 officially imported in the UK, just 70. I mean, they were quite expensive. Very nice looking car. Gosh, this has got a steering wheel in it from, let's get this right, I think that's an Audi A3 steering wheel actually. That's probably the entire dash is out of an Audi, isn't it? I didn't know you could just drop an Audi dash in there, but clearly you can. Someone has done it. Anyway, that's enough for this part. So, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you in the next part for some more incorrect information.